What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Tough Beals coming back at you guys with yet another video. Before we start today's video, guys, I want to thank you. Yes, I'm talking to you right there looking at the screen. You know who you are. I want to thank you guys for at least smashing that subscribe button, hitting the bell, checking out the videos, giving these videos thumbs up, leaving comments down in the section below. I love you all for just doing something like that. And also, guys, we have new merch coming out very shortly here, and well, go ahead and check it out. Link will be down in the description down below for all you guys out there. After the video, I'm going to tell you guys what actually happened to Silver Bullet here and what I did to fix it. You're probably asking right now, Tough Builds, why do you have rags in your engine bay? And why is the fuel rail off from the block? I'm about to tell you guys something. I was experiencing a misfire. I knew it wasn't my spark plug. If you guys don't know that video, I did a whole video on that and trying to get all that resolved. The next part that I was like, well, maybe it could be an injector. What I did is I went ahead and took off my fuel rail. What you guys are going to do right here, if you have to take off your fuel rail to test your injectors, there's a way to do it, and I'm going to show you guys. First thing that you have to do is you have to prop off your back seats. There's going to be two little push-in pins right here. There's going to be one here, it's like a lock tab that goes into this hole, and there's going to be one on the other side. You want to go ahead and unlock those, lift up the seat, and take it out. Second thing is this right here, that box controls your fuel pump. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and disconnect your fuel pump. And why? Well, you obviously don't want this pumping more fuel into your injectors and your fuel rail. That's the best part you guys got to do. Make sure you guys go ahead and disconnect this guy and start the car up. Let the car die completely before you go ahead and start disassembling your fuel rail. After your car dies, if you don't know how to take off this whole dilly-dally intake right here, there's a video. I've already done it. I'll be linking that down in the description down below for you guys. So if you guys need a little bit of help with that video, let me know down in the comment section down below, and I'll be surely glad to help you out with any make, model, of vehicle if you guys need to know how to take off your fuel rails. What I did is right here is where your intake sits. Okay, so you want to keep this covered. You don't want to have anything go into these ports. If something does, make sure that, I hope anyways, I hope the one that it fell into, it's closed and you're able to get it out. But on that behalf, I just went ahead and sealed them with some tape. There is cylinder 3 right here. If you look down into your ports and you notice you got a lot of gunk sitting on those valves, you're gonna have to clean them. And the best thing to use is CRC cleaner with some zip ties attached to a drill if you ain't got the money or the time to walnut blast them. That's the best way to do it. Just fill it up with CRC, let it sit for about 30 minutes, go in there with the drill and start cleaning it. That's all you gotta do with the zip ties. The zip ties will break all that stuff off, mix it up enough, and you guys can go ahead and use a shop vac to clean it out, or a pump of some sort, so you guys can get all that stuff out of your valve before you open up the next valve. The reason why the fuel rail is completely off here is because of that. The misfire alone was telling me it was in cylinder 3, which this one right here is going to be cylinder 3. This is where the injector sits. They go right in there. I'm going to show you the injectors in a minute, but that's where they sit. I had to take them all off again. Injector number 1 had a linking seal, so I had to pull that out, and I threw away the seal, or else I would show you guys, but the seal is in the trash. It was missing a whole chunk on the bottom of it. There's one thing that I've learned, and you don't want to put these things in dry. I should have known that anyways, because it's rubber and it's going against a metal surface, which it's pretty deep in there. Not only that, but the friction can cause them to snap. You always want to make sure when you put new sills or whatever that you put them in right. Don't put them in wrong. I'm going to give you guys the part number for these sills. If you have a 2016 Ecoboost Mustang, I'm going to give you guys the part number that you guys would need. I would probably order these before you start working, so that way you're not without a car. The only reason why I'm without a car is because cylinder 1 had a major fuel leak. So I did not want to drive this car and for it to catch on fire. Bad idea. What else do you guys do? Ordinary to turn this guy around right here, you're gonna want to get this unscrewed from the rear, because you're not gonna have enough room to pull this down or out or whatever. You want to get that unscrewed. You don't really have to take it all the way out. Once you get it unscrewed to where it's about to fall out, you guys can go ahead and move it out to as far as it will go, which is right there. You don't want to push it or put too much pressure on it, because remember, this line is very small. It goes right up into the fuel pump right there. So you want to make sure that you don't mess with that. There's also something else that you guys can do, is this guy right here. You can unscrew this one and drain her out that way if you guys prefer that. That's probably like the best way to do it, is just drain it out from that and then go ahead and yank on it. And what I meant last time is that you want to grab it from here and the other side. Don't just grab it from here and pull. You can bend things and break things, and you don't want that. So make sure you guys don't pull it only on one location. But anyways, I'm going to give you guys that part number real quick before we move on, so that way you guys can get an idea of what the part is before this video starts carrying on. This is the part number. It's going to be SK128, and I'm going to show you guys what this guy actually, everything comes inside there that involves your injectors. What you're going to replace on an injector is going to be this plastic seal right here that sits right underneath the silicone ring. You're going to want to make sure you replace both of those. And if these guys are damaged, you want to make sure that they're not damaged. There's a way to take them off, and they also come with brand new ones as well. And the bracket that sits right here also is brand new. All of this comes inside the kit. So you get this, you get the seals, and you get the bottom seal as well. You get pretty much everything you need for the injector to keep it sealed. You also want to make sure that there's no damage caused to the sides of your injectors to make sure that it's going to perform the way that they're supposed to. You always want to make sure that your injectors are good and clear. Make sure that there's no gunk sitting on the ends. Like this one is pretty damn clean. Reason for it is because I used some GDI cleaner and I let them sit in there for a while, and I went ahead and cleaned them off. They were actually really, really bad when I pulled them out. That's how you clean those. And then same thing with your valves. Make sure all your valves are clean. That way your fuel economy and you won't misfire. Now, what does Tough Builds mean by don't put them in dry? Okay, so on the ends of your injectors right here, you're gonna put some oil all around this ring right here. Don't need a lot, just enough to lubricate it. And you're gonna go ahead and stick it in just like that. Make sure that they are all sitted right and they're not gonna come out. And then you're gonna go ahead and plug the fuel rail back into your block. I keep all the holes from getting anything in with towels. You guys can use tape or whatever you guys prefer, but I prefer using some tape. Don't mind the loud radio in the background. I got some weird neighbors. It's a pretty easy project to get started on this. You just got to have at least 2 days if you are planning to do all this. And maybe you might forget something and you would have to, you know, have at least that second day. So make sure that you have 2 days off because you're going to need them. Other than that, that's pretty much all the information that I can fill you in about your fuel injectors and about your valves. You always want to make sure that they're closed before you get started cleaning them. So you can easily use a phone and zoom in as far as you can, and then make sure that valve is sitting all the way up, so where you can spray that CRC cleaner in there and you can let it sit for a couple, and then go ahead and start brushing away all that stuff with the zip ties, because zip ties are a lot, I guess you can say, they're not as rough, so they're not going to damage the valves. So you want to make sure you're not using any wire brushes or a toothbrush that's brand new. You definitely don't want to do that. And then go ahead and plug the fuel rail in. Don't put back your manifold just yet. Plug in your pump. Plug in your battery if you have it disconnected. You should always have it disconnected anyways when dealing with fuel or sensors. Go ahead and press the button. Come back out. Check all of your injectors. Make sure all pigtails, everything. Make sure the smell isn't so damn strong, because if the smell is strong, that means you've got a leak somewhere, and you got to figure out where that leak is before you start rebuilding your car. Because I'm telling you right now, guys, it's a mission to do all of it. You got to have everything torqued, and by the time that you have everything torqued, you're going to untorque them and retorque them and untorque them and retorque them. Eventually, you're going to run into a problem. So my suggestions are definitely, if your car is over about 85,000 miles, I would definitely get new bolts because of the heat and the cold and how they expand and stuff like that. So you definitely want to make sure you get some new bolts. I am not 100% of what the torque spec is for the fuel rail, but I'm pretty sure we can find that online somewhere. And always remember, Google is our friend, guys. In the car community, trust me, even mechanics use Google as well. In some cars, they're just not too damn sure about them, and maybe they work on older cars and they never touched a newer car, so they have to research about it. And research is the key. Sometimes you might feel dumb, but it ain't nothing about do with dumb. It's just, I want to make sure I'm doing the job right, and I want to give you guys the right information. So, you know what? That's why you do research. For me, I did little bits of research. I already pretty much knew where the injectors were and how hard it was going to be to get them out and how much work I had to do to get them out, what all the seals are going to be. Cylinder 3, we're going to get that fixed. It might be a valve issue. I'm not 100% sure, but the valve is so caked on the stem. It's so bad to a point where I'm pretty sure that's where the misfire is coming from. It just being clogged, just 100% clogged, because I know it's not my spark plug. Compression is fine, fuel is fine. The only other thing I can think of is that valve, and these are direct injected. If you guys don't know what direct injected is, there's a problem, a big problem. Make sure you guys do research on that as well, because right now I can pretty much tell you a gist of what direct injected is, and direct injected goes right to the piston. It doesn't spray on top of your valves anymore. It just goes right there. It saves you gas. It's better on the fuel economy, and that's that bag of cookies. But I think, just like you guys think, they should have made this system a little bit better than creating something that is going to cost you a lot of money eventually, because you're going to have to get your valves cleaned eventually if you're not a hard driver, like a lot of people aren't. They actually do take care of their cars. They don't race them. They keep them in the speed limits. But sometimes you do have to drive your car rough, ordinary, to clean out those valves. I would say like once a month, go on the freeway. You know, some freeways go up to 85 miles an hour. Slam on that gas until it hits 85 and go ahead and release it. You just want to keep it there for a little while so you get that fresh air, and it'll help clean off those valves. This is pretty much going to wrap it up. If you guys need any additional information, don't be afraid to comment down in the section down below. I do answer everybody's comments, as you guys have seen. Let's go ahead. I'm going to fix this car. You guys might see it in this video. If not, you guys will see it in the next video running again, and I'll explain it from there. I'll see you guys. So what actually happened to Silver Bullet? Well, guys, Silver Bullet had a very bad leak inside of her fuel injector, which obviously you guys seen in the video, which caused me to take it all apart, figure out what one it was. I found out it was the first cylinder, went ahead and pulled that one out. Then there was also another one which was on cylinder 3 that was giving me the problem in the first place. So I went ahead and cleaned out that and got it right back into there again. If you guys need to make sure you guys oil those rings, if you guys don't, you're gonna end up in my shoes and end up cracking one of them, and it will suck, because then you have to wait for a whole new kit to come in, because these are not available near you. You gotta actually order them through your O'Reilly's or AutoZone, wherever the hell you guys actually shop at, and you gotta wait a couple days for them. So keep that in mind. If you're doing this project, make sure that you order them before you start taking stuff apart. Now, how I fixed it is I went ahead and cleaned that valve out as well, put new rings and seals on the injectors, popped them back inside, make sure you guys clean them as well, and then I went ahead and started the car, drove it without the tune for a little while, filled it up on 91, put the tune back on, and I tell you guys what, the difference that I feel in the car right now is way better than what I would have assumed. So the car is actually working out really, really good. No check engine light right now and no code, so I hope that they stay off. If they actually come back on, well then I will have another mind of what it actually is, and it could be a very bad injector. So what I did is I took cylinder 3 injector and switched it over to cylinder 2. So next time if it does happen, if it is the injector, I will know instantly that it is because I put it on cylinder 2 this time. So that's something else that you guys can also try if, you know, after you guys are done cleaning it, of course, and making sure that it's not clogged anymore. Go ahead and stick it on a different cylinder and make sure that you remember what cylinder, because when it comes time and that code does pop, you want to keep that in mind. Okay, I put this on cylinder 2 and this is where this problem is coming from. So make sure that you guys keep that in mind. Keep them labeled, whatever you guys do to them, just make sure that they're in there perfectly. Put back your fuel rail. Don't forget to tighten things. If you don't tighten everything, there could be another leak coming from in the back of the fuel rail. So make sure you guys tighten everything. Anyways guys, let's go ahead and end today's video. You should know exactly what to do at this point, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't, there is a problem. Smash that subscribe button. And also guys, don't forget to hit that red button so you guys get notified when I do post a video the next time. Don't forget to smash that big thumbs up right there. Well, you know, it helps me out and it helps you out. So don't forget to smack it. Share this video with your family, your friends, even people that walk down on the street and you don't even know them. Let's get this video seen, guys. Once again, thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. We are at 667 subscribers.